that was all Erangel. I was going to say, that was all Miramar had to give you in today's games. It's going to be the last 2 games over on Erangel, followed by a full day of Erangel games tomorrow. I'm Toby, joined by Cormac. And if you're new to this, you're watching the PEL Contenders. All these teams right now fighting for a chance to make it into that top 12 and make their way to Berlin. Fight against the bottom 4 teams from PEL with a chance of snooping away their spots. Though, first game on Erangel, 3rd game on the day, commences as we speak. And for AK, again, they've given up military base. They're jumping up towards Kametsky.
Yeah, it's a wise choice coming out from them for now. I do also like the fact that they're dropping in the opposite end of where military base is, so just kind of playing it super safe, knowing that they're not going to be able to hit their really usual spot, and then just they'll rotate down as they need to. A little bit of freedom.
We'll see how things are going to unfold. Moonwolf, they're going back over towards the military island as well. It seems like they're committed to Novo at this point. Not a place that we see looted very, very often in competitive PUBG, but like to see that some teams are indeed making their way down there every now and again. Avangar, they'll go up towards northern Georgepol. Nothing new under the sun. In that regard, of course, we have seen them loot military power before, but they have seemingly fallen back in the old roots of going towards Avangar, or going towards North Georgia. Only thing is now, though, that Besiktas, well, I mean, they're fighting vehicles, and who will get them and who won't? Could be some early kills coming in here. Ooh, interesting. Eastern Circle could go military.
Don't think it's gonna end in military.
You never know. You cannot.
I know. Hey, I'm trying not to get my hopes up. You know, what was it you said to me yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
If you say it, you know it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, true.
So you know, see, using your words, Toby.
That is true. Arco, he's on the wrong side, mate. If he wants to go down towards the Novo side of things, he's kind of up north in that regard. He'll, of course, just see if he can get himself a vehicle and run on down towards his teammates. And Se7en, we talked about them coming into this game, how they left, of course, Pachinki, not wanting to contest with Zoekt Een Naam, but seems like they've, at least for now, found themselves confident and comfortable in Rosok.
They're close to the circle. They've no tag team close by, or kind of, I wouldn't say camping it, but they're looting up what they need to loot up, and they know they don't really have to move anywhere for now. Of course, the risk is that because they're on the edge of the circle, that's very much, obviously a lot of teams will have moved closer to the west rather than the east side, so there's a higher chance they could come across a couple of teams moving where they are, so you gotta be a little bit careful of that. Right now, Tornado Energy, I like where they landed. They're in the center. They've got a good few buildings that they can just really loot up with. And then, of course, they don't have to really worry about moving anywhere that they don't need to.
Yeah, but you also have to really be... how do you put it? You have to really be... Like, staying in Milta in these sorts of circles can be extremely dangerous. Because if you go north of Milta, there's not that many compounds available, especially if the majority of teams settle to sit up there. And if you have to leave Milta later on, that's going to mean that, potentially you'll get pinned on down in there. So potentially, as we saw Millman, he's looting right now north of Farm. Keep that compound, or maybe take the 2-split on the on that compound, of the garage compound on the eastern side of the road. Could be the smart choice in that regard.
That's very true. Could see Gamerlegion. They're moving in forward down on the coastal line. We've also got circles. Zoekt Een Naam. Page is kind of separated from the rest of his team for now. It's going to have to be a little bit careful about that. Winside, who are outside the circle, they're going to potentially come across Gamerlegion as it's going to be starting to move in for now. Just need to have a couple of minutes.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time to rotate through. The only change up in this regard is that there's no Milta power team this game, so the whole pressure point from the eastern side won't really be there, which means that there will be a chance for some of these teams. We're talking 4AK, we're talking Riddle potentially too, of a chance to push down on the eastern side. But now Riddle, of course, having already pushed down to take that exact spot we just talked about before, they won't be settling anywhere out east, at least not for now. Hannibro and Se7en. Se7en is still all the way up in Mansion, so it could potentially be him going that way around. We'll see, though. We'll see as the circle comes closing on in.
Do you see Desperado? Spot out Gamerlegion, or one of the teams, which is, of course, Gamerlegion. We see it. Clemente, but not really getting too many shots off. We need a home. they didn't have first two good games in Miramar, kind of getting knocked out and killed early on, especially Rita, unfortunately. So hopefully herself and the rest of her team will just have a bit of a better performance in these last two games in Erangel.
Yeah, Rita got caught. Rita got caught out, real unfortunately, in that previous game. And at least now, this time around, they're all together to a certain extent. Paul Derek does have the Alamo compound to kind of hold for himself, but they're sitting pretty well in it right now, and should be in a decent spot to rotate onto that next circle, no matter where it goes.
No tag team, just circling around in those vehicles out in the open, just kind of having a bit of a Sunday drive, so to speak. But they've got to be a little bit careful because those vehicles make noises. Teams that are around them could potentially spot out their location. So definitely got to be a little bit careful about that. But Jupe's the egg.
Sees the gun.
Yeah.
Only 10 bullets in the weapon, though. I'm not sure if they know that he's there. When I was going to say if he knows that they're there, but indeed, no, he must know. You can see him upstairs trying to hold the angle. He's all by himself. Is he going to jump out the window? Nope. He's going to close the door, though. Yep. Makes perfect sense to me. It seems like no tag they want to commit on this one. There's no reason for them not to. 4 guys up there. At this point, probably expecting there to only be a solo player in it. Quickmath. 7. They're rotating side by side here, joining forces, at least for now, trying to make their rotation on through, and Clip does eventually go down. That's going to be Riddle losing a player early on. Unfortunate set of circumstances for them, but there's not going to be any reses coming in.
Fortunately, a closed door isn't going to protect you from an 8 shot, as he is going to go down indeed. So nice start for no tag team, just to kind of occupy that area, keep it in their sights, of course. Kind of center of the circle for now. Zoekt Een Naam moving in. Desperado also kind of staying close by. As PG-18, they've suddenly gone in there. They were kind of outside around the edge of the circle. Now they've gone closer and closer to the likes of Gamerlegion.
I think a lot of teams want to play somewhat close to the water just because there is a chance. What are you guys doing? 2OU. Oh my god. What the hell? 2OU almost ran himself over. Now Frank comes around the corner. Him and Bud. Oh, what is going on? Guys, this is not team deathmatch.
Is this
what is going on?
Toby?
Is this competitive PUBG? What the hell are we seeing right now? And 4AK and Freedom, they're like, oh, 3 kills in the field. That's amazing. Quickmath and Se7en Esports, they are doing content right now. That is, yep, that's what they're doing. They're throwing in a lot of clips for content for PUBG. That's great.
Hey,
what
look,
the hell was that?
All that did was benefit 4AK, right? That gave them a couple of kills, gave them a great advantage. I'd like to see Se7en just really, they're heading towards Lipovka, or just outside it. So that's they just need to reset themselves a bit and kind of go, okay, look, what was that bit of a mess? Let's respond. Buster gets a mini 14 out. Look at the poke his way through. What
would have topped that moment there would have been if the explosion threw the vehicle back over in the face of 2OU, like his own car. If it just rolled back, when it hit him there, that would have been the funniest thing in the world. But of course, not quite the case. We'll leave the shenanigans with that, and then I'm sure you guys had some lulz in the chat and had yourself a good time. New circle is going to pop real soon. Northern Lights, they're going to make their rotation on over already. Moonwolf in a position to do a lot of damage, but only one of the guys shooting right now. Surprised that they ain't going to commit more to that one.
That was a big surprise. I feel like Moonwolf had far more of an opportunity to really flush Northern Lights out because they weren't exactly moving super fast. Now they're starting to respond at their cause, but hasn't really got the high level of scope to hit them from that distance. So Northern Lights able to survive for now.
Educas was not able in a position to really get the engage in early on. Unfortunately, new circle though does pop, and we're heading on over to farm. Still plenty of water in play here, of course, so that's gonna become a big factor in all of this. And then 4AK and 7 up on that northeastern side, they'll have to really do some wise planning when it comes to that rotation they have ahead of them, because as we can see already, the entire south side of this circle is full on taken at this point. And there's, well, I mean, north, sure you can play in the Potato Hills, but
I was going to say, Potato Hill is an area that Avangar might look to kind of hang around at, but
it's honestly the only place they can play from. So it's not that they probably want to; it's just they have to. There's nothing else available.
Trying to be positive here, Toby.
Oh yeah,
you know,
of course, positive.
Yeah, exactly. Positive people. Either way, inside. They're throwing a couple of shots at Besiktas, Zoekt Een Naam, all close by to each other, but yet to see any huge knockdowns. Although, just as I say that, Quizzy gets a knockdown onto Melman, but Example returns fire with that knockdown onto Quizzy as Tornado Energy against Northern Lights in its buildings.
We talked Tornado. We wanted to see them turn things around now. 1-for-1 trade so far. Leah is not in a position to help out whatsoever right now. It's not going to make things any easier whatsoever.
So we are onto Gamerlegion Macandark for now. Looking to really kind of stay around in that area. He knows that Desperados are close by in that building across the way. But either way, now we see Compot thrown in a smoke grenade, just trying to help revive Melman all the while. Perfectix and OK Bro. A couple of shots being fired, so OK Bro is going to have to be a little bit careful.
They do have an angle on towards him, but they're 3v4 now. Once against it's Quizzy, who goes down early. That's a arguably a pretty big loss for Northern Lights. Of course, it's a team game, but just when you have the same player time and time again be the one hitting those numbers as far as kills, there's usually a thing to it. Aaliyah gets knocked. That's on the other side of the road. That's a knock you couldn't risk having in. Of course, Aaliyah is that flank player. We saw the same playstyle being put into play in Swarm, and now seems like Perfectix is going to try and make a move on it.
Yeah, I like how In the Deep was in that building, kind of really giving the rest of the Northern Lights team an area to move out, looking to just be very responsive for his team. Now, Se7en Esports had a bit of a interesting moment with Quickmath earlier on, but either way, they've re-established themselves. They're getting into those vehicles, and they're moving in, away, and safely into the circle for now.
I was actually kind of disappointed they didn't try to drive into the guys when they came running by them there. That would have made things a whole lot more interesting. Northern Lights, of course, we saw Perfectix just before, wanted to get himself into a better position, and now indeed he has. It's going to be pretty fun to see from his position here how he can apply some pressure over towards the Tornado Energy team. Aaliyah, again, knocked before. Doesn't seem like anyone is going to prioritize the rest coming in here.
Would not be a wise thing to. So far in the Open, the second you go near there, plus with the fact that Perfectix has rotated around and has the angle, that you're just going to get yourself flushed out. So sometimes it's just safer to let somebody go down and you move forward with the rest of the game. But look at this next circle change. Toby, it's favoring once again Avangar, Se7en Esports, and we need a home all in that north area.
Yeah, it's pretty centered on the northern side of the island, or the southern side of the island, I guess you say, northern side of the water. PG get himself a finish up there. Bjorn spins around, gets a lot of damage applied on towards one of the guys in Gamerlegion. I'm not sure if the Gamerlegion player was expecting that to be friendly neighbors or whatnot, but he was not at all ready for that one. That was
nope.
That was called a Mentor sitting upstairs there.
Still good response from Bjorn to just spin around and then get out of there before getting knocked out. As you do see, Besiktas on a side of Ultra just getting that knock, getting that kill onto the side of Riddle. But now Bjorn looking for the shots on to Desperados, but not quite connecting as he gets put down to low health himself.
I like the play called the Mensa Frozen Nade, obscures the audio and then jumps out the window with Salcero holding the angle. Great disengage and nice support play coming in from the team and making sure that everyone gets out of there alive off of a play that could have honestly cost them a play early on.
Yeah. So it's the little things like that that makes a huge difference when you're able to just strategically think about how to exit out of a building in a risky situation and use that nade shot, using that play to just cause that level of distraction. It's just a huge difference maker in these games.
It sure is. I mean, whenever you can turn a bad fight into whenever you can get out of a bad situation, and that means that, well, I mean, statistically, the majority of fights will be you having the upper hand. So, of course, with that, odds are that you'll get yourself a pretty decent chunk of points out of it in the long run too.
Perfectix went into the farm area on his own, leaving the other two members of Northern Lights. As you do see, OK Bro is in that vehicle, taking a couple of shots from side of Moonwolf, so gonna have to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, things are spicing up here. There's not a whole lot of compounds left remaining in this circle. No. We have OK Bro and his teammate down on the southeastern side. They're going to be out in the blue in just a short while. And then you have PG on the beach, split 2-2. Decent Nemerith. They're up on the hills on the western side. And I mean, they should be able to spook out on forward and see some clear ground. The only thing is for PG, I mean, Yannick and Nailup, they have Winside kind of holding off any potential rotations coming in for them here.
It's also making it harder for them to form together as that full squad.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's going to really cause them a lot of trouble later on. Of course, the benefit is that if Yannick and other member of PG do kind of get taken out, you're still going to have Dyes and Nemeth there to kind of pick up the pieces later on in the game. But either way, we do see Northfrost.
That's your teammate.
Is that, yeah, I was just going to
say,
that's
that's because they don't know that the top 4 is cleared. I was going to say, why are you needing your teammates Northwest? But they were clearing the top floor. Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
It's just that you instantly can't think, what?
Yeah.
So
it made perfect sense. So new circle does pop. It sent us up once more. A lot of teams will be on the eastern side of this circle, and I hope for some of these teams that are far out east, they'll realize this too. Seems like Nail Up though, and Yannick, they're full on committed to the push on, and actually all the guys in PG committed to this push. They had a compound completely clear on the other side of the road and going back into the VOD. I'm sure they'll be looking back at that and say, oh my lord, we should just across the road instead. But nope, they decided to take the fight up close.
I think that's good coming out from PG right now. It means they're going to be able to form a full-man team. Danator is getting knocked down, gets killed by Hamster right now. So that's actually, that's it. Dies now on the side of PG. They realize that, there's a team close by that they've spotted where player that we were going for. And now they're going to have to look to refresh themselves, going to realize that, okay, we're not safe where we are. We also have a gifted RU and a boom there. So right now, PG are not looking in a good position. Not
at all. I mean, they kind of forced their way into this compound, and they got 2 kills, and they lost 2 players in doing so, and that's honestly in this situation kind of the best thing you could really hope for.
That's true. I did think it was a good idea, and I feel it would have been more successful if Gamerlegion hadn't been in there from a distance. In my eyes, probably, but they made they made the best of the situation as they could, and they're going to move on forward. However, we are looking at 4AK Ronnie Cray out in the open. Arrows on no tag team trying to run away. Is going to be able to get there for now, but it's going to be risky. Yep, he's getting spotted out. Ronnie Cray trying to look and shoot him down. There he is. Aros gets knocked down and killed by Ronnie Cray.
Not a whole lot more to it than that, unfortunate. Just to touch on the whole PG play there. I mean, arguably you'd want to sit on the northern side of the road earlier had you had a chance to, but it's not going to matter in the end. They have a play to make from there, and we'll see if they can make it. We need a home now, though. We haven't seen anything from them today so far. But now with a chance to go 4v2, make it a 4v3 against 4AK, this could be a play just waiting to unfold in their favor.
Well, they do have a lot of angles covered, but so do 4AK, because Northwest gets the knockdown on Lipson, but not before Jupiter comes in and mini 40s him down to the ground.
Tornado Energy finally gets the better of Northern Lights, and in the end 4AK goes down as well. 5 kills already, but we need a home. But this fight is far from over. Still many more fights to have. And Polydork, you're not going to be able to arrest Lipson in the blue. It's not going to work out unless if he just exactly jumps into the circle. Nope, not going to happen. Circle 4, guys, is the circle that will kill you when you rest out there. So do not even spend time doing it.
And never mind the fact that there's no tag team hanging around the edge of the circle. Of course, they do have a little bit of pressure potentially from Se7en Esports, but either way, we need a home Lipson. Let's take it out. We need a home Lipson. But no, that's really not looking too good for we need a home. I'd have to try to get out there as quickly as possible. All the while, Se7en Esports taking fire from Avangar from all angles area. Frank gets in that vehicle. He's going to try and drive away as quickly as possible and try and survive.
Frank is trying to jump on out. He does have Edelweiss there to help him, but as I say that, a lot of shots are fired down towards him. Circle did go east once more, and what was once Potato Hill is now completely unplayable in that regard. Rita's still driving. Somehow their vehicle hasn't been blown up yet. Now it does get blown up, but oh lord, they both get knocked immediately. Yold was there on the backside, and he gets the double headshots coming in all over the place. Impressive feat by him, and Polydork now on his own has to somehow run out of this one alive. But Yold, they realize he's a solo player, and this ain't gonna be easy at all for him.
Is not indeed as Horde looks to take down Simsy, but gets taken out by Lux from the edge, and that's Riddle Esports down for this third game as a squad.
Unfortunate for them, and they got taken out early on, had some rough rotations earlier, and that comes to cost them. Quickmath, Seamus is still alive on the edge of the circle, tough place to play from, but we'll see a long time he can solo it out for. And then we have Avangar up north, still 3 guys, make that 4 guys actually alive in that team, trying to make something work here. Edelweiss, he goes down. Frank now all by himself. What you gonna do here, buddy?
All you can do is just try and hide behind the trees, use a little bit of cover. He has no resources, like no smoke grenades that he can use to really kind of move out into a different area. He's gonna have to just kind of preen and just hope that possibly the other teams around him actually get distracted by each other, because you see Avangar are taking shots on the side of no tag team. So that could give Frank a chance to move away.
Yeah, you'll have to wait and see if that's going to become the case. He is inside the circle for now. Zoekt Een Naam spotted him out just before they might want to get a better angle on towards him. That's a nade thrown into the face of Resu. Arco somehow living through that explosion. Nade number 2, though, is indeed going to take him down. So Macken secures the second finish of a knockoff. Make that in the situation right there. And all of a sudden, they're in all kinds of trouble.
Jubsik gets a kill on the talk from Avangar. So this is what I was talking about. The chance that Franks needs just to survive for now. Could even be able to somewhat third party one of these 2 teams if he does get a bit of a chance. As we do see Zoekt Een Naam also rotating up northward. So it's a 3 squad fight outside of what Frank is doing between Avangar, no tag team, and Zoekt Een Naam.
I like the push out from the building from Zoekt Een Naam. They don't really need the building to such an extent. Frank does get taken out in the end there. Not a whole lot more he could do as a solo player. And Zoekt Een Naam now, they have a decision to make, and whether they want to push on up towards him. Seems like they're pushing forward. Page getting hit here by O'Connell should force them back, I would assume. And indeed, T-Bone and Ival does fall back.
Yeah, it's overall just a easiest way to just kind of push back if you're not confident of where you're located and you see that there's a decent bit of pressure from 1 or 2 teams around you. Sometimes, as you saw, wiser to spot their way back. However, Compot with great shots off, but gets return fired, so he's going to have to really revive himself up and just kind of get the health back up before he looks to respond back onto no tag team.
Yeah, question is if he even wants to do so. There are 2 players hiding on 1 rock, and they're not inside the circle yet. I think they have more important things to be worried about than trying to shoot at people that are far up those hills. Sure, they can get the angle on towards him, but, well, there you go. That's a knock coming in from a distance. A little point potentially secured. We'll see if he can get the finishing touches in on it as well. O'Connell trying to crawl over towards his teammate in Jupsik. Doesn't seem like that res is going to come in anytime soon because the circle's already closing in. I
was just going to say, Melman doesn't really need to worry about taking any more shots off, because that is going to be a kill secured sooner rather than later. All the while, Avangar, Maxior going up against Zoekt Een Naam. So close to the peaks around the rock. He gets knocked down. All the while, see in a distance, Gamerlegion taking down and killing Winside.
Yep, getting the full-on elimination. Avangar do go out as well. Unfortunately for them, Gamerlegion, they're playing it well from this compound right now. Desperado trying to hold the other side of the area here. And they're doing well at that right now. No one's made their way all the way in. Quickmath eliminated. Misa could only stay alive for so long. Paul Derek, that's a solo player, once again makes it out alive and into placement points.
He was so far away from that circle at one point as well, and he's moved his way in very effectively, using the edge of the circle in his favor to give him the highest level of chance. But all the while, McIntyre gets knocked down by Edukaz. So the Moonwolf right now, they're looking pretty good. They need a good game. They're following up quite nicely, but they are outside the circle. But they've been squad wiped by Desperado.
Yep, out they go. Calvin, he secures himself to finish up on towards Tornado Energy as well. So there's going to be their game on over. One more game, of course, to be played after this one. As we are bringing you 4 games both today and tomorrow. So 16 players still alive. We have a solo in Politerok somehow making it so far. As I say that, he does get killed, of course. That's the curse that we casters do tend to bring in every now and again. But Besiktas, they're staying 4 guys up. Good performance from them, having to fought their way through the west. Then we have Gamerlegion and Desperados, 4 guys as well, and a 3-man team up north. So just 4 teams remaining, split across a almost 4x4-man team lineup. That is a very rare sight to see in circles like these.
And I like how split Desperado are in terms of they just have these compounds cleared. One of them with this next circle shift does mean that Calvin Klein is outside of it, but with 3 of their other members of Desperado inside the circle, inside the compounds, a lot of areas covered. It means they're just going to have a high level of protections in these final squad fights, which is always important, Toby.
Indeed it is. Besiktas, they have a little bit of a road to cross here. It's not going to be an easy road to cross either, because once they're over, you can see the dip that they have to jump their way into, and that's going to be Fex and Bjorn. If they still have nades remaining, they're going to be raining them down in that direction. Mensa even would have an angle in that side of the map too, so it's going to be a tricky spot to play from. And honestly, if you're Besiktas, you kind of have to hug it on the western side and push on over in that direction. Zoekt Een Naam slowly trying to cross their way on forward. Use all the terrain you can for cover. Eiffel applying the suppressive fire for T-Bone, finds the knock on towards Fake, and now it's the turn of Besiktas to make their inevitable push into this circle.
So they're doing the wise thing right there. They're moving in really quickly, but they've got to be careful. I don't think Zoekt Een Naam has seen them, so that's actually good coming out. Seems he gets out of that vehicle, but no. Ivan looks at him, he sees him, and he knocks down Zimzy right now as Lux gets taken out. And just gonna really get killed by Calvin Klein.
Gamerlegion, they're in all kinds of trouble, and there's not a whole lot. Not Gamerlegion, sorry, Besiktas in all kinds of trouble, and they are just not finding anywhere to rest. Not going to be easy for them to stay alive whatsoever. In all honesty, Zoekt Een Naam not exactly in the best of spots either. Both Page and T-Bone caught behind the hills here. And honestly, I mean, Gamerlegion, Desperados, I'm sure they're glad they got to loot this place. I don't think Desperados ever left this compound. I think they stayed here since they started looting, and they've just been here ever since. So they're indeed not going to be too unhappy with the outcome of this game.
Well, we saw them do it in Moomar, and it put them really on top of the scoreboard for that game. So either way, if not broken, don't fix it. T-Bone gets naded to hell by Taureza, as it is down to 2 teams, 2 full squads as well. Toby?
Yeah.
Desperado,
he
Gamerlegion, should
he threw a good one right on the money there. And Fex, 9 kills for Gamerlegion. Sometimes we say that these guys sitting in the center compounds, they get the spots, but they rarely ever get kills with them. Not the case this time around. Gamerlegion, they've been holding off people from start to finish, and we've seen them improve their performances over the last couple of days of play. And now, this one, if they can pull off the win here, could be a really, really good turn of events for them too. One more game, of course, to come after this one. But right now, everything on their mind is making it out in the top of this game right here. Mensa, nice off angle on the roof. Gets the first knock in. Bjorn spots him out. He gets the knock in return, but that's 1-for-1 trade so far.
It is, but McIntyre should be responding to Nate. Cut down by Fake. It gets it 2 knockdowns, and now it's down to essentially a 3v1 situation.
Yeah, I think Fex, he managed to get himself rest on up there. Yep, Fex
he did
get up just before the explosion came in. So 2v2 realistically. Fake alive on the backside. He's going to go down now. Calvin is all by himself.
Colomenta is going to get revived up. Fake needs to try and get revived up, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Hamster is upstairs. It's now turned into a 3v2 situation for Gamerlegion, but nades are being thrown out left, right, and center. What a surprise, Toby.
How are they allowing each other to just continuously get these reses on up? It was a 1v2, and now it's a 3v3. Calvin, the hero medic. Calvin is the hero medic of Desperados right now, and he's even going to get to jump out the compound and stay alive on the backside. Hamster not able to land the shots needed there. Unfortunately for him, not able to do a whole lot, but you can see Fex and you can see Bjorn as well on the backside trying to get off angles. Bjorn going to be taken down, trying to flank around. No one there to really back him up right now.
But I like what Fex is doing. He's using the lip of the wall. He's using that however he can, and he's also moving around. So any nades that are being thrown out by Desperado, very few of them are actually connecting effectively, because you see he actually started off in one area. He's really turned it around. So Desperado don't really have a clue where he is.
Importantly so, Fex knows that the final circle is going to shift out of this city eventually, out of the city, out of the compound, and Desperados, they realizing this one too. See Calvin trying to push around. 10 kills coming in for both these teams so far. One hell of a performance. 20 kills split between the two teams. Really solid performances, but they have been taking a toll. You see Fex, no helmet remaining on him. That's 1 bullet to the head, and he's going to be down. Nate's now coming on forward, I believe. Yep, that's a nade thrown forward, but no damage applied.
So Hamster, he's waiting till the last second. He's actually going to stay around the housing areas for as long as possible, for as long as he has to, while Fex moves forward now. Shots are being fired left, right, and center. Clemente gets a knockdown on the Hamster. That is essentially a 3v2 situation. And just like that, Desperado come out on top.
They get themselves the win. Great performance there. They had a pretty good three-way split all along the line of one sitting in the compound, one having the fights. That was Calvin with the wider view, and then you had one hiding behind the smoke, shoot that first guy, get in trouble. But because he gets the knockdown on Hamster so quickly that he wasn't really, I guess, needed in that whole engagement there. Calvin was there to get the